Welcome to Commander's Daily, everybody. I'm Bob Matthews. This is your one-stop shop for everything going on with the Burgundy and Gold. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a day of it. We are grinding our way through vacation mode. Players obviously not in Ashburn. They will be there starting on July 15th when rookies report. Until then, well, we've got to make do. So, a few news and notes for you today. Late last week, we got yet another set of postseason odds for the Commanders. It was an interesting little tidbit that I saw because it shows you just where things are right now and just how much things have changed in the last couple of years. So the Commanders' postseason odds, if you want to put a futures bet in on it, to win the NFC East is plus 205. That means you bet $100, you win $205. Odds on winning the Super Bowl is plus 1,800. You put a C note on that, you'd win 1,800 if the Commanders go on to win the Super Bowl. I know, fairly long shot right now. There's a lot that has to go on, but this time last year, I would have put odds on it probably about 3,500 or 4,000. So it just goes to show you just how much things have changed in a year. Also, when you're looking just at the NFC East, that's a bet you may want to consider. Again, I'm not telling you what to do, but remember, it's been since 2005 or so since we've had a repeat winner in the NFC East. Maybe it's the Commanders' turn, at least if history's our guide. Some pretty decent odds, though, I would say, for right now. What else is going on? John Keim had an interesting story about Brian Robinson Jr. a little bit earlier in the week, or last week, talking about, since it's B-Rob's, it's his contract year, what is the biggest thing that he needs to work on this year in order to either get a second contract with the Commanders, although I really don't think that's likely right now, but to get as big a second contract as he can with another team. And it's probably a pretty easy one if you followed this team closely, and it's fumbling. Robinson has got to learn how to hang on to the ball. Again, I think he's a fairly valuable asset. I mean, the dude runs hard, he runs angry, doesn't obviously look like he's slowing down. I mean, he doesn't have that many miles on the treads yet, but he does have a penchant for putting the ball on the deck. That has got to be something that he solves, whether he stays with Washington or whether he goes someplace else, because it has been a problem his first 3 seasons in the league. He has got to figure out a way to get that done, whether that's carrying the football around with them all day or whatever. That's something the coaches are going to have to coach up. Hopefully they can, because again, I think if Robinson is one of those guys that can make a huge difference. Yeah, he's the kind of guy you want to give the ball to late in the game after you've been pounding that opposing defensive line and just let him grind the clock out. He's got the ability to do it. It's just a matter of getting out on the field and getting the job done. We have talked a lot about Luke McCaffrey over the offseason here. Again, we're in content creation season, so I don't want to make too much out of it. But people saying, "Oh, is Luke McCaffrey the receiver that's going to get cut this year if they make a move towards one?" Which I don't think is going to happen, because I think that there is some real upside with him there. Not going to be from lack of work in the offseason, though. I don't know if you saw it, but there was a picture. Scott Abraham, our good friend from WJLA in Washington, tweeted out a picture of Luke along with Christian, his brother, Christian McCaffrey, and Falcons running back Bijan Robinson. And you can tell Luke's been hitting the weight room this offseason, which is probably a good thing. After all, he was a quarterback in college. Putting some muscle on in the offseason is definitely going to help him, as he's primarily going to be used in the slot, I think, this year. Remember, and we talked about this last week, but he had some great separation numbers last year. He was one of the best receivers in the league just in getting open. Now, Jaden Daniels didn't throw to him that often, but you keep getting open. I think, the time will come, especially with what we're seeing here on offense this year. You can't double Terry McLaurin and Debo Samuel at the same time. There are going to be opportunities, I think, for Luke McCaffrey this year. He's just got to take advantage of them. And finally, I saw an interesting story this week talking about the Commanders' biggest regret in the draft over the last, say, 10 years or so. You remember the year that Ron Rivera took Cameron Cheeseman, the long snapper, the cheese? At the time, and really even, I think, I'm not even sure I remember this, but at the time, everybody thought because the Commanders moved up into the slot where they drafted Cheese, we all thought that they were about to draft defensive lineman Trey Smith. And everybody was kind of surprised that Rivera went ahead and picked Cheeseman. Well, one pick after the Cheese, Trey Smith goes to the Kansas City Chiefs, and the rest pretty much is history. Went on to, he's gone on obviously to win Super Bowls, become one of the league's best guards, and of course Cameron Cheeseman developed the yips, just snapping on extra points. So yet another reason why you've got to be glad for the new regime here in the nation's capital. All right, that is going to do it for us. Have you a great start to your week. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button. And remember, like the wise man once said, if you're out on your bike tonight, as always, do wear white.